Here we go! The episode begins with Papa Stark in jail. He's still alive! Bald Guy is visiting him, and it seems like Papa Stark has been sentenced to death. Bald Guy tells Papa Stark that Sexy Jawline Guy is on his way to King's Landing with an army to free Papa Stark. And then Bald Guy says that Chubby King is dead. Short-haired Queen definitely didn't. Or maybe he got killed by one of the many other women he slept with. Papa Stark says that Son of Fire should be the new king because Jeffrey is not Chubby King's son. And then Bald Guy tells Papa Stark that if he wants to live, he needs to lie and beg Short-haired Queen for forgiveness. Papa Stark tells him he will not trade in his honor for his life. And then Bald Guy asks if being alive for his children will make him reconsider. And then he walks away. Wow, that scene was actually really good. It's so nice to have good writing in the show after what I watched last week. We cut to Green-Eyed Guy shooting down a raven and reading the note that it was carrying. Sexy Jawline Guy and his army are right outside Filch's castle, and Mama Stark is worried that Filch is going to tip off their location to the Lannisters. They need to cross the bridge that Filch owns, and they're trying to figure out the best way to do it. Hey, here's an idea! Don't promise to marry one of Filch's daughters only to fall in love with a beautiful nurse and then lead everybody to their deaths. Mama Stark says she'll go and negotiate with Filch and says that he would never harm her. Oh, sweet, sweet Mama Stark, so naive, so innocent. Mama Stark goes inside and speaks to Filch, and he's just a nasty, grumpy old man. Though I do have to say, Filch has not aged a day since the first Harry Potter movie. Good for him. Filch complains that Mama Stark's dad never married any of his children to Filch's children, and says he needs to get rid of some of his children because he's an absolute sex monster and can't stop having kids. Mama Stark asks Filch to let Sexy Jawline Guy's army cross the bridge, but Filch is basically like, what's in it for me? Gosh, this whole thing is just gonna lead right to the Red Wedding. For being such a small character in the show, Filch has a huge impact on everything that happens. We cut to the wall, and Bastard King is talking to this guy with a very nicely groomed beard. Seriously, look at this beard and then look at the rat's nest that Bastard King has on his face. This guy definitely grooms himself. Bastard King's hand is hurt, and I have no idea why. Groomed beard gives Bastard King a sword, and I'm pretty sure it's the same sword Bastard King tells Heavyset Guy to hold on to in season 4. Whoa, Groomed Beard is Scar Guy's dad? Groomed Beard says Scar Guy brought shame to his family, so he's handing the sword down to Bastard King because Bastard King saved Groomed Beard from a dead guy. So that might explain the injured hand. Bastard King leaves Groomed Beard's office and everyone outside congratulates him. So Bastard King seems to be Groomed Beard's assistant right now, and I'm pretty confident that Groomed Beard is the Lord of the Night's Watch. But in season 5, Bastard King becomes elected Lord of the Night's Watch, and I don't think I've seen Groomed Beard anywhere else in the show. So he must die pretty soon? And then Tiny Eyes takes over for him, and then they elect Bastard King? Bastard King walks into the dining room and a bunch of guys want to see the sword. He instantly just lets them take it and run around with it, even though Groomed Beard told them to keep it safe. Heavyset Guy tells Bastard King that he read a letter that said Sexy Jawline Guy is heading to war, and Bastard King says he should be with him. And then we cut to Mama Stark telling Sexy Jawline Guy the good news that Filch is letting them cross his bridge. The conditions are that Filch's son has to be Sexy Jawline Guy's squire, young sad girl has to marry one of Filch's sons, and there it is. Sexy Jawline Guy has to marry one of Filch's daughters. Why would Sexy Jawline Guy bring his wife to that wedding in season 3? Like, obviously Filch really wants his children to marry people, and you just told him that you're not gonna marry one of his kids and then you're gonna bring your wife to the wedding? Now I'm even more mad about that whole episode. We cut back to Bastard King and he's talking to Old Blind Man. I love this guy. He's basically Yoda. He knows that Bastard King wants to join his brother in the war. Bastard King sounds like a teenager and he yells that Old Blind Man doesn't understand what he's going through. Then Old Blind Man tells the story of when his family was killed and his vows were tested. He goes on to tell Bastard King that he refused the throne and his brother became king, and then his nephew became the Mad King that everybody talks about. Bastard King is surprised to find out who Old Blind Man is, and oh my god, they're related and they don't even know it. Wait, does Old Blind Man know that he's Bastard King's great-grandpa or whatever he is? We cut to Legolas Queen riding with Eyeliner Guy. But Eyeliner Guy looks sicker than a skateboard trick. He falls off his horse, and this one muscular long-haired man starts giving Legolas Queen sass. Legolas Queen asks him to bring her a woman who I guess is a witch? A witch! In season 7, Legolas Queen tells Bastard King that a witch killed her husband. We're totally about to meet that witch. But first we cut to the Lannister camp, where Daddy Lannister is talking to Uncle Kevin. My love, I've missed you so much. Daddy Lannister is sending Peter Dinklage with a bunch of wildlings to the front lines, and Peter Dinklage gets mad because he thinks Daddy Lannister is trying to get him killed. He storms away back to his tent, and Greasy Mullet Guy is there with Peter Dinklage's girlfriend. Only I don't think they're dating yet, because it seems like she's a sex worker who Greasy Mullet Guy got for Peter Dinklage. Peter Dinklage tells Greasy Mullet Guy that they're gonna be on the front lines tomorrow, and he decides he needs to go have some sex before he dies. Peter Dinklage asks his girlfriend out by offering her safety and money, and then she takes off her clothes and starts kissing him. So that's what I've been doing wrong my entire life with girls. I haven't been offering them money or safety. I've been offering them this. We cut to Eyeliner Guy really struggling. It looks like he just ate bad sushi. Scar Guy walks in and looks at Eyeliner Guy's wound. I guess Scar Guy is a doctor because he immediately diagnoses him with dying. Legolas Queen refuses to leave Eyeliner Guy, but Scar Guy wants to get out of there. He says that when Eyeliner Guy dies, a bunch of the muscular long-haired men will fight to decide who's the new leader, and they won't want her around anymore. Then the witch walks in. This lady doesn't look like a witch at all. She just looks like a really exhausted new mom who hasn't slept in a few days. Legolas Queen asks her if she knows any magic to save Eyeliner Guy's life, and she says yes, but she says it's blood magic and only death can pay for life. So they bring in Eyeliner Guy's horse and she begins the sacrifice. She cuts the horse's throat and it squirts all over Eyeliner Guy. This horse is a really good actor. Look at him. I really believe that he's dying. Give that horse an Emmy. Legolas Queen walks outside and everyone is like, why are you doing blood magic, you crazy idiot? Then the sassy long-haired muscular man shoves Legolas Queen to the ground and Scar Guy fights him. Scar Guy kills him pretty easily, and then Legolas Queen says the baby is coming. None of the midwives want to help her because they think she's cursed, so Scar Guy gets the wonderful idea to bring Legolas Queen into the tent where there is a literal demonic sacrifice happening. Scar Guy, just deliver the baby yourself. Like, obviously I don't know what I'm talking about and it's probably really hard to deliver a baby, but if my crush was going into labor and the nearest doctor was in a burning building, I wouldn't carry my crush into the burning building. I would pop her legs open, close my eyes, and do this. We cut to Peter Dinklage, his girlfriend, and Greasy Mullet Guy playing a drinking game where Peter Dinklage guesses something about Greasy Mullet Guy's past. Oh, this is fun. We can find out when Greasy Mullet Guy had his first kiss and what he was like as a kid. Never mind. Instead, we learn that Greasy Mullet Guy was beat by his parents and that the first person he killed was a woman. Peter Dinklage then turns to his girlfriend and she says she doesn't want to play. But Peter Dinklage starts anyways. He guesses that her mother was a whore and her dad left her when she was young, but he's wrong. Then he guesses that she grew up poor and wanted to escape her crappy life, but he's wrong about that too. Is Peter Dinklage's girlfriend secretly like a princess or something? Whoa! And then we find out that Peter Dinklage used to be married. He doesn't want to talk about it, but then he gives in to peer pressure and tells the story of how he and Handsome Man in Armor saved a girl named Tysha when Peter Dinklage was a teenager. Peter Dinklage spent the night with Tysha and then immediately knew he was in love with her. How sweet. They quickly got married, but then Daddy Lannister found out. Apparently, the whole thing was a setup, and Daddy Lannister organized for Handsome Man in Armor and Peter Dinklage to rescue Tysha, who was actually a sex worker, so Peter Dinklage could finally become a man. Oh my god, and it gets worse. Daddy Lannister had all of his guards have sex with Tysha, and he made Peter Dinklage watch. What the f? I am so glad that Peter Dinklage kills his dad eventually. Like, I always knew Daddy Lannister was a pretty bad dude, but this is awful. Peter Dinklage's girlfriend tells Peter Dinklage that he was and still is young and stupid, and then starts making out with him. Greasy Mullet Guy is like, alright, I guess I'll leave now. Then we cut and it's the next morning. Greasy Mullet Guy comes in and wakes up Peter Dinklage and tells him it's time to go fight a war. Peter Dinklage walks outside and gives a rousing speech to the wildlings in his army. They all begin running towards the front lines and Peter Dinklage gets smacked by someone's hammer right in the head. He falls down and he's out cold. And when he wakes up, the battle is already over. That's the way to do it. Go to a battle, go to sleep, wake up when it's over, then you can tell all of your friends that, hey, I was at that battle, that we won. I call it the chainmail guy strategy. Greasy Mullet Guy tells Peter Dinklage that they won the battle, and then Daddy Lannister comes over and says that there were only 2,000 Stark soldiers, not 20,000. Oh no. Did Sexy Jawline Guy just send 2,000 men on a suicide mission to distract the Lannister army? We cut to Mama Stark waiting with sideburn ponytail. Sexy Jawline Guy emerges from the trees and he captured Handsome Man in Armor. Was that the whole reason that he sent 2,000 men to their deaths? Just to capture Handsome Man in Armor? Mama Stark is just gonna let him free in season 2. Oh gosh. We cut to young sad girl killing a bird. This girl loves killing birds. She looks homeless and she's begging for food. Just 3 episodes ago, she was getting sword fighting lessons and living in a castle. I guess when Papa Stark got thrown in jail, she had to run away and live in the streets. A bunch of people run past her and they say they're going to watch the Hand of the King do something. Is Papa Stark about to have his trial? We cut to Papa Stark being brought out to a stage and every single person in the town wants him dead. They're all yelling traitor at him. Red-haired Queen is on stage with short-haired Queen and Jeffrey, so she's still sticking with Jeffrey even though he wants to kill her dad. That really explains why young sad girl hates red-haired Queen for so much of the show. Papa Stark stands on stage and tells a complete lie. He says he planned to kill Jeffrey to get the throne for himself, and that Jeffrey is the true king. Papa Stark, what happened to picking honor over your life? Old Kinky Chains asks Jeffrey what Papa Stark's punishment is gonna be. Jeffrey says that short-haired Queen wants Papa Stark to join the Night's Watch and live out the rest of his days at the Wall, which is a pretty kind gesture considering who short-haired Queen is. But Jeffrey says that as long as he's the king, treason shall never go go unpunished. And he says, "Bring me his head." Short-haired queen and red-haired queen are both like, "Stop, what are you doing?" But the crowd is super excited to watch Papa Stark die. Young sad girl starts running towards the stage, but a man grabs her and doesn't let her watch what's about to happen. Red-haired queen is screaming for them to stop, but it's too little too late, and the executioner brings down his sword and kills Papa Stark. And then the episode ends. Holy crap. So this is the episode where everybody found out that Game of Thrones is a crazy show, right? Because Papa Stark seemed like the main character, almost. One of the main characters for sure. And he just died before season 1 even ended. Well, I've been wrong this entire time thinking that short-haired queen was the one who killed Papa Stark, although she probably did have something to do with it, but it was actually stupid little Joffrey. I hate Joffrey. When do I get to see Joffrey die? I'm ready to watch that child die. Like, when I saw Filch, I didn't really know that he was an evil person, and I just saw him die, and I was like, what's going on? But Joffrey, I have seen do enough things where if I saw him die, I'd be happy. That episode, though, was fantastic. That was a really good episode. Like, that one is up there with Season 3, Episode 9, and Season 6, Episode 10 as one of the top 3 episodes I've ever seen of the show. The writing was good, the acting was good, the directing was good. It's so different than Season 5. How is this the same show as those crappy acting scenes in Season 5? All in all, this episode was pretty close to perfect. It was very, very good. I'll give it a 9 out of 10. Let's reach into these boxes and see which episode I'm gonna watch next. Season 2, Episode 6. Season 6, Episode 2. Season 1, Episode 3. Season 7, Episode 1. And last but not least, Season 5, Episode 6. So those are your options for which episode I'm gonna watch next. There should be a poll right here, a little box. My voice just cracked. Go ahead and click on the box, vote for which episode you want me to watch. Here's a graphic to show you which episodes I've already seen to help you make your decision. Quick update for you guys. Next week, I am not doing a Game of Thrones video. I'm sorry. I'm trying something new that should be fun also. So please watch on Monday, even though it's not Game of Thrones. I think you will like it, hopefully. Some of you guys have been really nice to me and have supported me on Patreon, so it's time to do the Patreon shoutouts. Getting mixed reviews on these. A lot of people are kind of turning on them, saying that they're not very good anymore. But you know what? I'm gonna keep doing them because I made a promise to my Patreon supporters that I would make a stupid joke about your name. Not even a joke sometimes, just like a story. Anyways, here we go. Laura Jarvis. Jarvis. So when I was in high school, the star running back of our football team's name was Jarvis Giles. Jarvis Giles, if you're watching this, hey dude, you probably didn't know who I was in high school because you were way cooler than me, but look at me now. I do Game of Thrones videos on YouTube. Anyways, Laura, thank you for making me feel nostalgic and remember high school stuff. Thank you, Laura. Nicole McNeil. Nicole McNeil kind of sounds like Ally McBeal's sister. Did you ever watch Ally McBeal? I watched Ally McBeal when I was like 10 years old with my mom. There was a dancing baby? I don't remember anything else about the show other than the dancing baby. Anyways, you have the same last name as her, and that's the best I could do, so I'm sorry, Nicole, but thank you so much for your support. Mesian Tilmatine. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but that's a sick name. Mesian Tilmatine. You actually sound like you could be in Game of Thrones with that sweet name. I wish I had a name like that. Steve is so boring. Thank you so much, Mesian, and sorry that I'm definitely saying your name wrong. Graham Young. Graham Young. Hey. Graham, you know what's great about you? Is you'll be young forever. Because your last name is Young. Whoa! Home run on that one. Thank you so much, Graham. Brennan Victoria Goss. Brennan Victoria Goss. I love 3 names being in one name. Brennan Victoria Goss. You sound like a middle school gossip queen. Is that mean for me to say that about you? Your last name is literally Goss, which is basically gossip, and Brennan Victoria is like a kind of a sassy... It's a cool name. You have a very cool name, and you sound like you would tell secrets about me in middle school. Thank you, Brennan. If you want to support me on Patreon, there's a link in the description below, and I'm going to put a button at the end of the video. Go check out my Patreon page. If you like this channel a lot and you watch my videos every week, maybe throw me like $1 a month to help support me. That'd be cool. I'd really appreciate it. If you give me $5, you'll get a shout out at the end of a video. And aren't those great? Don't you want one of those? Okay, bye.